Shawn.
Mike?
What is this? A crossover episode? Yowza, Bowbowza.
So I think what we need to do for this is I think we need to go back and forth. So you're like, Shawn? I'm like, Mike? What is this, a crossover episode? And then I do my do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And then you do Yowza, Bowza, Bowbowza. And then we go into the music.
Okay, we'll do that next time.
Okay,
Anyway, hi,
cool.
everybody.
Hi, guys. Live look.
What is this, a crossover episode?
Live look at our creative process.
We're the Squid Boys, Mike and Shawn. This is episode 3 of season 2 of Bojack Horseman, titled Still Broken. Shawn, you said before recording you were very curious to hear about what rating this has on IMDb.
Yes.
And this episode has a 7.9 rating on IMDb, 1 decimal point more than the previous episode, which had 7.8.
I can understand that. Okay, I was like, if this is like high 8s or 9, I was gonna be like, oh, what? But no, 7.
You had a suspicion that it would be?
It was a bit of a more serious episode in some ways, so I thought maybe it would have scored a little higher, but I didn't really. The serious aspects of it didn't really flow with me like it normally does.
That's because you're not scared to death yet. Anyway, this episode aired on July 17th, 2015. And speaking of death, 2 famous deaths on that day. Jules Bianchi, French auto racer, died from his injuries from an accident. And then Owen Chadwick died at age 99 of, I'm assuming, just old age. I don't know. It doesn't say. The number 1 song was See You Again by Wiz Khalifa featuring Charlie Puth in the U.S. And in the U.K., it was Black Magic by Little Mix. Still don't know that song. Maybe someday I'll know.
Any big historical events on this day?
So the scientists, they solved a mystery of sleeping sickness in 2 villages in northern Kazakhstan.
That sounds...
Uranium mining.
That's good.
And then Marvel's Ant-Man starring Paul Rudd as a titular character was released. And nothing
sounds like a pretty good day. It sounds like there was no tragedy, no...
Nothing else happened that day.
No bad stuff happened that day.
Yeah. All right, anyway, so Bojack Horseman is a show that we're talking about.
Yes.
And Still Broken, a funeral turns into a treasure hunt for the Horsing Around cast and a potential schmooze fest for Princess Carolyn and Mr. Peanut Butter. Meanwhile, Todd briefly reinvents himself. So what do you think of this episode, Shawn?
I mean, I still liked it. I thought it was still, like, still cool. I like, if I were to give it a rating out of 10, it'd probably be like a 7. I really liked getting to see all of the Horsing Around cast older, and I liked the, like, cutting back to them as younger, like cutting back and seeing how Herb had been pretty good dude to them all, Right.
He was kind of a father figure to them all, including Bojack.
And all that stuff was good. I think the part that I didn't love was like the treasure hunt aspect in the modern day of like looking for this book and then what the reveal about the book at the end is. Like all that stuff didn't really work for me.
Yeah. And I think it's just a way of giving them further backstory. Because we didn't really, besides Sarah Lynn, we didn't really know any of these Horsing Around actors.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of them. I thought they were interesting, and I think there's more that could be pulled there.
So, fun fact about little Brad, I'm looking at IMDb, and he's voiced by Adam Conover, who's voiced a ton of things.
Adam Conover, yeah.
Yeah, but he's listed, the character's name is listed as Bradley Hitler Smith.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
I don't remember if this is a plot point later, if his name is Hitler. I don't fucking know. But I just noticed that and went, huh, that's a little strange, Bradley Hitler Smith.
Yeah. Kanye's a big fan of him.
Yeah, apparently. Wow, 2 episodes in a row with a Kanye West reference. If I had a nickel for every time we talked about Kanye West on this podcast, I'd have 3 nickels, which isn't a lot. But it's more than you'd think for a Bojack Horseman podcast.
Hey, man, it happens.
Also, in this episode, we have Joelle, who's voiced by Allison Brie, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
Wait, really? Wait,
yeah.
Joelle was voiced by Alison Brie?
Yes, doing the fake British accent, yeah.
I did not fucking notice it at all.
And then Henry Winkler, obviously known for his appearance on Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
God, I gotta get you to watch
himself.
Barry. I've got to get you to watch Barry. He's so fucking good on Barry. Yeah, I love Henry Winkler. He was probably my favorite part of the episode.
He's had a bit of a renaissance in recent years as just like this guy that shows up in these shows, right?
Yeah.
But like the joke that kind of gets lost here is he's clearly known as being the Fonz.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, I got
like
that.
That's
yeah.
just,
yeah.
And I think people still get that, but it's almost like he's done this kind of irreverent character so much that people probably almost know him for that now than the Fonz, right?
Yeah.
But the joke is, oh, I was on Law and Order, but that's where you probably know me from. And everybody's like, no, you're the Fonz. Ha,
yeah.
Whatever. So this episode opens with the Horse and Around pilot episode. We get a flashback. They do the show, and Herb gives them kind of a speech about, they need to stick together no matter what happens next. Because he thinks they have a good shot of being a hit, but you got to take care of each other no matter what. And Smash cut to Herb's funeral, where Tina the bear is giving what I presume is a heartfelt eulogy.
Must be. I don't know.
Must be. You can't tell. We don't speak bear. We don't speak bear at all. We then, obviously it does the intro, and then we come back, and Henry Winkler starts talking about Herb and how he died. And we find out that Herb didn't die from cancer. He was in remission, but died while tweeting driving down the road after getting in an accident with a truck. But it wasn't the accident that killed him. It was his peanut allergy because the truck was full of peanuts, and he died instantly. And Henry Winkler delivers. I have the full thing.
Please
he says, "Let us now read his final tweets. I'm gonna live forever. Hashtag cancer free. Hashtag invincible. Hashtag tweeting while driving. Oh no, I think I'm gonna hit that truck. Hashtag hopefully it isn't full of peanuts. Hashtag oh no, it was full of peanuts." But at that point, Bojack's not paying attention because he notices Charlotte.
Yes.
Played by Olivia Wilde, who was Herb and Bojack's friend, and you could tell Bojack was a little sweet on her, but she dated Herb for a time before he came out of the closet.
And Bojack had this big dream sequence last season about living a life with her.
Yeah, when he was very high on drugs, he had this thing about how he didn't live his life with her like he should have. But he finds out she doesn't even live in Maine like he imagined, and like she said, she lives in New Mexico, and he should come look her up sometime. So she also comments on how Herb said he stopped by, but then she read in the book that they had this big fight and, all that pretty embarrassing stuff. And Bojack just says, I wish I could do something. And she goes, so stay here. Maybe you'll find what you're looking for. So the wake itself is at Herb's house, overlooking the ocean. Nice place he's got there. Todd is just literally loading up his whole body with sandwiches. just a comical amount of sandwiches. And I don't remember what Bojack gets mad at him about, but Todd just says, you're in one of your moods, I'm going to go play astronaut in your trunk. Typical Todd stuff.
That makes total sense.
Right. And Princess Carolyn walks up and says she's excited to schmooze at this funeral because look who's all here, including Jake and Maggot Gyllenhaal.
Maggot, Jesus Christ.
Or Maggie Gyllenhaal, dude.
Oh my God.
Poor lady, great actress, always gets thrown under the bus.
Man, or blown up in a Batman movie.
Yeah. Playing a character that she didn't originally play.
Yeah.
She talks about how Bojack's going to be getting a lot of money now that Herb's dead, because that's what happens when people die. They're, appreciated more in death a lot of times.
Yep.
And she says, come on, do you not think Elton John
Oh, Jesus.
made money off Princess Diana? Yeah. More like Candle in the Windfall. But he does make he does tell her, hey, give this money to orphans, which is actually something that you should pay attention to and see where that goes.
Is Robin gonna show up at some point?
Is who?
Robin, like an orphan, like Batman and Robin.
Oh, no, it's not Batman related. I'm sorry.
Dang, I was hoping.
I'm so sorry. Bojack goes into his room and he's starting hearing echoes of what Herb said to him in their last meeting. And he's interrupted by Joelle, who for some reason is British now. And she's not just British, but she's like overly British.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
how incredibly droll. Like, you
I'm
know,
on the West End.
like almost how they portrayed Andrew Garfield
Yes.
earlier on in the last season, just like so incredibly English. And then, you know, Brad and Sarah Lynn come in and they're all arguing and
Sarah Lynn is stealing all the pills.
Sarah Lynn's stealing all the pills. She's high as shit. She makes a comment about how she assumed Joelle had kids because, you know, her body. And then Joelle says, I'm sorry, I assumed you weren't a cunt anymore. And they all go, and she goes, no, it's okay. Cunt is okay in England. And Bojack's trying to get everybody to get along.
I like that Brad
And,
is like, I have the biggest hardware store in Seattle. Oh, okay. It's in Olympia.
Yeah, Brad is just like a sad sack of a guy.
Apparently
Because then he
Bojack
remarks-
fucked his mom.
Fucked his mom. Bojack doesn't even remember.
No.
And we find out later that it was like his parents got divorced because of it
Yeah.
and all this stuff. It doesn't even register for Bojack. So, you know, poor Brad. Then a bat walks in
I'm the blind executor.
and Sarah Lynn goes, God, are you blind? And he goes, yes, I am. And he remarks that he's not even a lawyer. He's just a bat, but Herb trusted him. Maybe it's my overly formal manner of speech. And then he proceeds to walk into the door and a stool on his way out because he's actually blind. It's a floppy disk that he gives them.
Yeah, Jesus.
And this is when Brad has his flashback. That each character gets their own kind of flashback with Herb.
Yeah.
And Brad's is, hey, so Bojack and my mom are like getting really close and acting weird. And Herb's just kind of like, oh, hey, do you wanna play this new computer game I got? And it's solitaire, and it only takes 12 discs to install. But that leads to Brad going, oh, there's a disk drive in his office. We should probably go there. We cut to the B plot of the episode, which is Princess Carolyn is there to schmooze.
Oh, yeah. God, I forgot how many fucking plots. There's 3 different plots in this episode.
There's 3 different plots in this episode.
Which is, I think, part of why it didn't...
It's a little unfocused.
Yeah.
Right? And Princess Carolyn's plot isn't hugely important, but she's there to schmooze. She witnesses Henry Winkler, someone trying to schmooze him. And there's actually a funny bit with this that I really like. Basically, a ferret comes up to Henry Winkler and wants him to narrate a documentary. And he goes, hey, let's just make this about Herb. I'll let you get back to your business, pointing to a group of other ferrets. A group of ferrets is called a business.
No fucking way. No way.
So it's a fucking animal joke while also making sense.
Very
but
good.
Then Princess Carolyn approaches him and he's like, I hate when people try to make a funeral schmooze jobs, whatever, you know. And so she's like, oh, yeah, I knew Herb. And as she's going to tell, you know, Henry how she knew Herb, Mr. Peanut Butter shows up and goes, I didn't know you knew Herb. Tell us in excruciating detail about how you knew him. And this is like the theme of the episode is Mr. Peanut Butter just calling her out constantly and her trying to like just lie her way through this so she doesn't seem like, but I love Mr. Peanut. She goes, wait, how did you know her, Mr. Peanut Butter? He goes, I didn't, I'm here to schmooze. Like just is completely honest from the get-go. And so it doesn't matter. And I just love Mr. Peanut Butter is just such a dickhead.
He's really good. I'm excited for more of his stuff.
Yes. We then cut back to the treasure hunt plot. And there's a small gag here that I never noticed before until watching this time. They show a truck going into the lot. And the truck is, on the side of the truck is the words, famished hippos.
Okay.
Catering service.
I like that. Hungry hippos.
You know, like
joke.
hungry hippos? Yeah, I'd never
good.
noticed that one before. We get a voicemail in his office from Pep Boy's guy saying, hey, your brakes are definitely in good shape. There's no way they would have given out unless somebody were to cut your brake lines. By the way, I loved horsing around. Didn't really like the horse, so Bojack deletes it because he's pissed.
Yeah, of course.
And he says, it's so weird to not like horsing around but hate the horse. That's like watching Castle but hating castles. I've never actually seen Castle. I think it's about castles. The show's not about castles.
No, it is not.
Todd shows up, and Bojack gets rid of him by giving him $10 and says, "Hey, go get us 5 squirts." Squirt the soda.
Yeah, the soda.
The soft drink.
It's just
And Todd comically fucks this up by dropping the $10, having a was it a bird that picked it up?
Yeah, and then the bird flies into a plane.
No. It's like a rabbit picks it up, and then an eagle comes down and takes the rabbit.
Yeah.
And then the bird flies into a plane and dies.
Yeah.
And Todd's like, "This always happens to me."
I don't think I needed any of this part in the episode, to be honest.
So you don't like Toad Chavez?
Not really.
Let's just tackle Toad Chavez right now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's it's they're obviously calling back to a lot of the things that Horsing Around was inspired by, Family Matters and Urkel. There's a part where there's the baby dinosaur from the sitcom Dinosaurs is next to the dumpster. So there's like, I'm sure if I looked closer, there'd be quite a few things that are like, oh, this is from Full House, or this is from, But he comes across a janitor who says, "Hey, this is a time machine from the Family Matters episode where Steve Urkel becomes Urkel,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so it makes him cool. And Todd's like, "So if I step in the machine, I'll become cool." He goes, "No, this is just a prop," but Todd does it anyway.
Yeah, of course.
And his confidence, really excels him to be the what some would say is the best version of Todd, as he elbows the soda machine Fonzie style to get a 6-pack of squirt.
Good.
Somehow attached to each other with the plastic. That's not how vending machines work.
I mean, it might be,
No, not how they work.
Could have been.
He also walks by a biker bar and kisses. He's on a rampage. He kisses a woman.
Yeah.
He steals a dude's cigarette.
He
steals a guy's motorcycle
Right.
and says, "Oops, did I do that?" Is a shout out to Urkel as he pulls away, and the guy's like, "Man, I'm not even mad. That was so cool." So Toad Chavez is on a rampage, but then he ends with him delivering the squirt to Bojack, and Bojack going, "Why do you have your sleeves rolled up like that? It looks kind of weird." And he instantly is just back to fumbling Todd.
Yeah.
No longer Toad Chavez, but Todd Chavez, who is just a fumbling idiot and can't do anything right. No confidence. So
I don't hate this bit. I don't like this bit in this episode, if that makes sense. Like, I already wanted more from the kids in this. So for it to kind of go down this path of like, let's have this weird non sequitur with Todd for a while. Like, I know the Princess Carolyn stuff was fine, even though it also was like a lot of stuff that I wasn't super interested in compared to like the A story.
Mm-hmm.
But it was more the Todd stuff that I was like, all right, can we please get back to what we were doing? You
heard it here first, folks. Shawn hates Todd.
I do. I think he's just a fucking ass. I don't.
So, back to the A plot. Joelle has her flashback as they're trying to figure out the password to the computer, and this is probably the longest flashback we get, besides maybe the Bojack one at the end. But basically, he's telling her, he's trying to motivate her. This is after he was fired from Horsing Around. And he's telling her, you should be doing real acting, in theater. Be nice to Sarah Lynn. You guys are a family. And he says the word family probably like 8 times in 2 sentences. And then she comes back and you think she's going to go, the password is family. But she goes, the password is password. And sure enough,
it is.
That is it.
That flashback had a line that concerned me and did not get dug any deeper into. And I don't know if they're going to, but it just set off red flags where Sarah Lynn in the past comes up to her and is like, do you want to go to the mall? And she tells her no, like, don't you have friends from school to go with? And Sarah Lynn says, no. She says, no, I don't go to, I'm homeschooled. Thank you. That was it. My stepdad, or no, not my stepdad, my mother's boyfriend who's a photographer.
Oh, you're right.
And
there's a distinction there.
There's something about every part of that sentence that makes me uncomfortable with that situation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The fact that she just mentioned he's a photographer is pretty weird, right?
Yeah.
And then later,
mother's boyfriend.
Her stepdad is a bear, we find out.
Yeah. And pretty clearly, she didn't have a great youth from how she is right now, so I'm just very concerned about that.
Well, and Herb even kind of says that to Joelle, like, hey, she didn't choose this, be nice to her, you know?
Yeah,
because she didn't. She was very young when she started doing this. And kids can't make that decision when they're that young, you know what I mean? Like,
they can't. They don't. You have no idea. Adults have no idea,
Right, exactly. I don't fucking know what I'm doing. Unimportantly, I don't need to touch on this more, but we go back to the Princess Carolyn deal where she tells this story and everybody's yeah, and then Mr. Peanut Butter's like, no, tell us another one. And so she's stuck into telling another story about Herb that she's making up. We cut to the storage unit where we find out Sterling's stepdad was a bear, and also she has her flashback, which was pretty recently because Herb's looking rough. And if you notice on the TV in the background, it's Neil McBeal, the Navy SEAL, and Bojack are on the TV.
I didn't notice that, but I love it.
And she tells Herb she's going to get clean, and the next episode after that in season 1, she goes to rehab.
Oh, God, continuity in this is very good.
Right. But I don't know that exactly lines up because she doesn't go to rehab till after she like stabs herself in front of Andrew Garfield. So
that's true.
I think that maybe
a little
it was
revisionist.
just a coincidence. Yeah, or just a coincidence.
Okay.
But she remembers he wanted her to publish his manuscript after he died, no matter what. And so then they start to piece together that Henry Winkler possibly murdered Herb because the manuscript is gone. What I don't remember what their whole
the break lines were cut, the manuscript is gone.
Lines were cut, the manuscript. But why did they think Winkler? There was some other thing that connected it to Winkler, and I don't remember.
There was. I can't. What is this episode called again? Still Broken.
Still Broken.
I wonder if I can find what if there's a wiki? There is BojackHorseman.fandom.com.
Shout outs to the wiki.
It just says on the wiki they pieced together that he murdered Herb.
Yeah, there's something else that they pieced together. I don't remember.
Neither do
it's
I.
Not super important because they get back to the funeral, and Bojack tries to. Oh, that's right. Princess Carolyn is ending her next story, and she goes. Herb gave the beavers a damn. Like,
yeah.
Like, they didn't give a damn, but he gave them a damn. And it's like, haha, funny beavers, And they're saying, Princess Carolyn, you should go spread Herb's ashes because you clearly knew him better than any of us. So she's lied too far in the other direction. Then Bojack shows up, calls him a killer, and Henry Winkler's like, a killer of gloom? Is that what you meant? And he goes, no, that's clearly not what I meant. But we come to find out Tina the Bear and Henry Winkler stole the manuscript because it's so bad they don't want it to tarnish Herb's legacy. The break lines and everything was just a red herring. No one killed Herb other than the Peanuts. And Bojack remarks, that he just wanted to fix things. And Henry Winkler gives some pretty poignant quotes about there's no shame in dying for nothing. That's why most people die. There's no meaning in death. That's why it's so terrifying. And you can't fix things, horse guy.
Yeah, I liked that part.
Yeah. So, that's kind of a bad feeling, right? But it's the truth.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we get Bojack's flashback where it's back to the pilot episode of Horsing Around. Bojack's agent shows up. It's like, this is going to be a hit. And there's a fucking possum that's asking everybody for Coke for some reason.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? And they go to party, but Bojack and Herb stay back because they want to go to the tank where they film Love Boat. And Herb says, I want to get tanked in a tank. And they go there and they find out it's, not even it's barely a foot deep. Mm-hmm. And Bojack asks Herb, are you worried or scared that everything's going to change. And Herb says, no, the future is bright, BJ. Just look at it. And it pans out to like the fake, skyline of not the tugboat. What the fuck? The Love Boat.
Yeah.
And that's how the episode ends. And so I'll agree that the parts of this episode that are supposed to be poignant don't hit as well as they have previously.
Yeah.
Like I think that was supposed to be like a gut punch because it's like, oh, the future's bright, but look, the future's kind of fucked. But like,
yeah.
I don't think it was as big of a gut punch in an episode ender as they thought it was.
Yeah. I still think it's good. I think that like, and I think what it is you mentioned earlier, a lack of focus. I think I just needed more from the A plot and less of this C plot with Todd.
Yeah.
And the C plot with Todd is good. I love Todd. I would have really liked that in a different episode.
Shawn really hates
You know
Todd.
what? Fine. I fucking hate Todd. Is that what you want, Mike? You want me to fucking hate Todd? I'd kill Todd if I could. If I was in a room with fucking Todd.
No,
he's taking me.
Hold on.
He's taking the mic away from me.
Wait.
He's silencing me. Do you hear him?
Wait.
Do you hear him, Internet? He's silencing me.
Oh no. Anyway, that's the episode. Do you have anything else you want to say about it before we get into the categories, Shawn?
No.
Okay, so categories. Animal-based joke.
I like it when the eagle got hit by the plane.
Yeah, that one was good. I actually like this. We didn't mention this, but one of the like in-betweens is there's a guy laying down on a surfboard, and then a shark swims up on a surfboard next to him and kind of gives him like the shaka, and the guy's like, "Ee," and then swims away, and the shark's sad. Like, poor shark. He just wanted to make a friend.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
That's probably my pick.
Creates a direct link and continuity between the show and Baby Shark. That's the Baby Shark from Baby Shark.
Okay, what was your favorite bit of the show, Shawn?
I liked the which one was your mom?
Yeah, that was a good bit. That was good reoccurring. Was your mom 2 redheaded twins?
Yeah.
He just can't. He can't place it. You know what? I'm standing up for Todd. My favorite bit was Toad Chevet. All right? I don't care if you hated it, Shawn.
You know
it was
what?
A good
I'm
bit.
glad that it worked for you, dude. That's all I want. That's all I want.
He was on a rampage. I loved it.
All I want is for you to be happy.
Well, thank you, Shawn. That's very nice.
You're welcome. Even though you try to silence me when I'm just speaking my truth.
Well, you were gonna say some weird shit. You were gonna go on a Kanye West rant. If I didn't stop you. What was your favorite quote of the episode?
I liked "There's no meaning in death."
Yeah,
it's true. I think Henry Winkler's whole thing at the end is probably the best in terms of quotes.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'll agree with that. That was episode number 3, Still Broken. Up next, we have episode number 4.
Okay.
After the party,
okay.
Mr. Peanut Butter throws Diane a surprise birthday party,
Let's go.
putting tension on their relationship.
Ooh.
Princess Carolyn and Vincent have a serious talk.
Oh.
Wanda tells Bojack a joke.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm interested in how this is all gonna play out.
I will tell you, I think this is one of the best episodes of this season.
Oh, wow. This early.
I'm going to throw that out there. It's not the best, but it's definitely the best episode in the first half of the season, in my opinion. They play with some structure and stuff of the episode that I really enjoy. And only later in the season do we get better episodes, in my opinion. So
I'm very excited. We're a quarter of the way through the season.
Yep.
Exciting.
Yeah, I'd say this is the best episode until episode 7 or 8.
Okay. So what you're saying is that we got a row of stinkers afterwards, and that you hate them. You don't like them.
That's not exactly what I'm saying.
You hate them like I hate Todd. If you were in a room with those
episode 5, episode 5, not one of my favorites in the whole canon. Not, not one of my favorites. So
we're getting a great episode and a not so great episode.
Episode 6 just kind of forgettable. And then episode 7 is where the season really starts to pick up.
Okay, all right.
In my opinion.
All right.
They're not bad. They're just not my favorites.
All right. Whatever you say.
I'm just saying. I mean, after episode 6, so starting with episode 7, every episode is ranked 8 stars or more on IMDb.
I'm excited. Although you said this was a 7.9, right? So
yeah, this one's a 7.9, but then episode 6 is a 7.6, and episode 5 is a 7.8.
Oh no!
So I think my opinion is pretty equal with most people's on this.
All right.
So
I trust you.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Shawn. I trust you too.
You shouldn't.
I shouldn't. You're right. That's why I didn't let you speak. Where can people find you, Shawn?
On Twitter at Shawn_AFK. If you guys want to find out who else is in that room with Todd, go to my Twitter account.
You just tweet it right now. Yeah, go to Shawn_AFK for all of those hot Alex Jones type takes. You can find me on Twitter at SpikeGhetti Bros. No Alex Jones takes there.
Well, sometimes. Just not from you. You sometimes you get hijacked.
I get hijacked?
Yeah, by J. Jonah Jameson.
No, he has his own account.
Oh, I guess he does now, doesn't he?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't let him do that anymore. I changed my password. Anyway, thank you guys for listening and watching. Yowza yowza bobowza.
Suck a dick, dumb shits.
I'm just gonna start putting it in random places of the episode. Maybe I'll start adding like a noise when I say it. Thank you.